Swamp. Twang. Yep, start the stream. All right, so today we're going to work on a cutscene. We also have a couple areas that we added. We got a puzzle. We have another scene that's very important to the story. And this one we're going to do a cutscene that's fairly early on. I'm not sure if it's going to occur at the very end of the demo or after the demo. Maybe in this version, I'll just have it as like the endpoint of the demo. But in the final game, the scene might occur later on. I haven't decided yet. Again, let's make sure we're all good. Yep, we're live. Get on in there. Okay, cool. And I've definitely decided during my work ethic through these projects that even though Elemental Owl's demo is going to be released at the end of February and Quest Adventure was done at the end of January, for Elemental Owls, I'm fairly confident that the final game will be done before Quest Adventure because Quest Adventure is more ambitious. It has more side quests. It has a lot more angles to approach it. It has boss battles that haven't even been created yet. Like, I thought of the idea, but I haven't figured out a way to like make them actually fun on the program. And I'm not releasing the full game until I'm able to capture that. So for this scene, basically we got bad guy coming in here, and he's gonna interrogate and take on the village. And let's see here. Do I have... Yeah, so we're going to take care of this. And I have like sinister music playing. Yeah, lower down the pitch to make it slow. Lower down the volume for now. But remember to boost it back up. There we go. And when making scenes, dialogue is important, but not for your first draft. You want to get the basic idea across. And then when you like keep replaying, you get more ideas of how the dialogue's going to flow. The banter back and forth, or like the plot. So the first draft, I just like to get a basic idea of like how the scene plays out. So, for example, the villain would be like... Alright. And like obviously you can add some like movement to bring the cutscene to life. But the dialogue at first is most important. Just to get a basic idea. So we're going to have like... Basically I'm going to tell you how the scene's going to go, and then we're going to create the scene. So they're going to be like, hey, we found the rebels who were aiding... the villagers who were aiding the rebels, basically. And he's going to interrogate them and wonder, like, hey, some of our allies are dead. Were you the cause of this? Then it's treason then. And then he's going to lay siege to the village. That's basically how the scene's going to go down. Da-da-da. So Lady Eris is another member of the Dalton Empire. And Lady Eris is more like the diplomat. Whereas Theo is the militia. He just wants to burn traitors. So now, the Dalton Empire. Dum 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 dums. Theo. Trying my hardest not to resort to Star Wars dialogue.
In a word.
No, I mean, just like, what's the meaning of this? Don't act so surprised, Your Highness. You weren't on any mercenary this time. You weren't on any mercy mission this time. I want to know the status of the plans. I'm thinking. You're part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away! Alright, hang on. Just please.
What are the chances I can get nail polish out of a t-shirt? Would you say you're inspired by like George Lucas's Star Wars for this game?
Slightly, yeah. There is some little bits. I mean, you have an oppressive empire. And I think, like, Star Wars' empire is, like, the most influential when it comes to, like, an oppressive dictator force.
Yeah.
In fantasy. Like, I can't really think of anything else that's as, like, well known.
Right. Princess Bubblegum in the Land of Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, is she oppressive?
I wouldn't say she's oppressive, but she's definitely nosy and controls everyone.
Well, that's more like a monarch.
Well, yeah, she's a princess.
Yeah. I'm thinking of a force that, like, rise through the ranks and became top dog. Yeah, takes over. And now has everyone under their thumb. goes in spy.
Oh my gosh, sorry not to change the subject, but there's a crochet pattern for an egg apron.
Okay.
It's excellent.
Excellent. Yeah, she liked puns. All right. Nah, I don't like that. Let's change this a little bit. I like that better. So let's delete that. Yeah, kitty kitty.
I know, I don't know what she's meowing about.
But I regret.
She was playing with a button, and I took it off of her. So I think she's upset now.
Okay, maybe I should read this scene out loud and see how I can get the flow going. So it starts out with one of the soldiers going, "Here they are, Theo. These are the scum who last saw the assailants of the Star Mages." Theo approaches. Villager, "Theo of the Dalton Empire. What is the meaning of this? Do you really expect Lady Eris to approve of such misbehavior?" Theo, "I do believe she would be more displeased in hearing of this village's allegiance to Goza." Shopkeeper, "That's preposterous. Goza was purposely driven out from this very island years ago. You really think we'd sully our name with them?" Theo, "I've been informed that one of this village's residents was seen aiding a Gozan spy." You're jumping to conclusions. If you're that desperate, why not visit our star mages? Why do you feel the need to come directly to us and with such force? I had every intention to visit the star mages initially, but I regret to inform you that they have been slain by the Gozan traitors. Like, does that sound like how an interrogation would work?
I think it sounds a little more casual than an interrogation.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, it feels natural.
Yeah.
Like if you told me it was an interrogation, I'd be like, I would imagine an interrogation would be a little bit more mean. Um, but then again, I'm very like swayed by movies.
Gotcha. Because, like, what's happening here is that, like, all of his soldiers are, like, spread throughout the village. He has them all surrounded, and he's basically saying, like, "Hey, I'm going to denounce you all as traitors, and then I'm going to kill you." Execution.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, he's trying to get just a little more information before he's done with them. Because Theo's character is just like he sees everyone beneath him.
Yeah.
He's a high-ranking official of the Empire. He feels he can do no wrong. He feels his word is law.
Yeah.
And he's in blood relation to the president, so he feels he can get away with it.
Nepotism there.
Yeah, there's some nepotism there. Whoop.
I was like, I'll enjoy.
But like, it's also to hint at the villagers don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, not only do they not know that the Star Mages were allied with the Dalton Empire.
Well, I think, like, what is the setting here? Like, where is this conversation taking place?
In the village.
Okay. Then I think
So like, he has invaded the village.
I think it'll work then. As long as they're not, like, in, like, an interrogation room. Or,
No.
like, a formal questioning. If
Right.
It's just like, move, get out the way, bitch.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I don't think so.
Well,
I think that conversation would definitely work.
Yeah. So he like drug them all out of their houses. They're all standing outside. We got numerous soldiers surrounding them.
Yeah.
With Theo in the forefront. Mm-hmm. So like, I don't know if you've seen The Walking Dead, but there's a very famous scene where Negan comes out.
It's when he kills Glenn.
Yeah. And he's got the bat, and he's basically saying, this is what's going down.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's happening here. There we go. I did a reference that's not Star Wars.
Woo!
See? I see other things that's not Star Wars.
I mean, I guess if you're going to reference The Walking Dead, Negan is a pretty good reference to make.
He's definitely the most interesting character. And that's like later on when the series...
way better as the villain than the governor, for sure.
Ugh. Negan was like the last thread of that show that I was just like, huh.
I actually stopped watching with the governor, but I like kept up because I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
So like, plus they reference him a lot in Supernatural as Negan, with like the baseball bat.
Yeah, you've told me.
So Lucille makes an appearance in Supernatural.
But like this is gonna hit hard later when you revisit the village and it's like just devastated. Not devastated, there's a word for it.
Dilapidated?
Dilapidated, yeah.
It's like falling apart?
Yeah, falling apart. And Claire's gonna feel responsible that like she doomed her entire village simply by helping to get Gale out of here.
I love that goddamn bird. I would destroy my village for that bird.
That's preposterous because it was for... And now... request that may even spare your lives. Who is this ally of a Gozen spy? So now it's going to escalate a bit. Theo says, and now I ask for one simple request, a request that may even spare your lives. Who is this ally of our Gozen spy?
They're probably like, we don't know.
Do you really expect us to know? Hmm. See, I don't feel that's true. I was going to have a dialogue like it's hard to keep track of our civilians when the Empire has us working to the bone. But really, this village is kind of like, hey, don't fuck with us and you're allowed to do as you will. Kind of like that state.
Yeah.
Like they're not enslaved. It's just kind of like, hey, you just remain neutral and blind and oblivious to this all, and there will be no problem.
So are you looking for dialogue that like
The
embodies
villager,
that?
yeah, dialogue that the villager would have of like, we have nothing to do with this, basically. Because Theo's stance is just like someone from this village is aiding the Gozen spy, therefore the village as a whole is going to suffer for breaking the treaty.
So and the villagers are basically like, yo, we're neutral.
Yeah.
We don't have anything to do with this.
Yeah.
What is Theo's like official title?
Theo the militia?
Well, like, it does he have a title like
The Dalton militia?
how people would say Your Highness?
Okay.
So does he have a title like that?
No, he's just like a general.
So I mean, you could always have. Do you want the villager to be like snarky?
Well, there's a couple of them. So like one's immediately like, this is bullshit. This is an outrage.
Yeah.
The other one's like just being like, I don't know. We could have the third one be snarky because he hasn't said anything yet.
The only thing I can think of is that they would be like, well, General, we're a neutral land. We have nothing to do with your fight.
Okay.
So just to be like, GTFO, homie.
Okay.
This isn't anything to do with us or you. We're a neutral land.
Well, General. As you know, this village is on neutral land. We have nothing to do with your fight. And we'll highlight your.
Yeah. Or you could like italicize it. I don't know.
Yeah. Probably just put it all in caps. That's the best way to do it with like the simplistic font. Okay.
Because I think like something like that gets across that A, they're not gonna like roll over and die.
Mm-hmm.
B, they like know who he is and know that there's a war and they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Scum last saw the assailants, the other daughter. I do believe she would be more displeased in hearing this village. I'm trying to build to the point where like he's going to give the order. And I don't know like how much dialogue to where, because Theo's going to lie when he get, because we already did that scene where he's interrogated by, well, not interrogated, but brought forth for the other members, and they're basically like, hey, you burned down a village. What the hell was that all about?
Yeah.
And like Theo's going to basically lie and be like, they were praising heroes. They were praising our Dalton spies. I mean, Gozen spies. they're traitors and they suffered a traitor's death. And basically, one of the other members is going to be like, "We got prisons for that, yo."
Yeah. Huh. I just pictured that.
Because like the only dialogue line I can think of now is Theo to being like, "Then I'm afraid there's nothing I can do to spare you, or there's nothing that will save you." And then like either someone will like blurt some information about like the blacksmith or the woodcutter, or basically alluding to Claire, and like he'll be like, "Ah, thank you, carry on." And he'll be like, "But you said we live," and he's like, "I said I may spare you." That's kind of like how I'm thinking the conversation would go
Okay.
with the personality I've built.
Um, I feel like
Like he's very sneaky. He
I
wants
like
to
that.
seem like he's merciful, but
Yeah.
like he'll always trap you in a corner.
I do like that, but I feel like if everyone is standing their ground, one person wouldn't just be like, "Oh, I'll blurt out information," unless they like there's something that he has that that person wants more
Okay.
than being like the quote unquote traitor of their village. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like if he's got a family member or a loved one or someone that that character cares about,
Oh,
they give information
what if
to
like
save that character, and it's like, "Oh, thanks," kills that character anyway.
yeah. So what if like some of the other villagers, like a wife or someone, blurts it out, like, because like they're not surrounded. Because like I'm trying to picture like we got
Yeah,
three
I just feel
villagers
like
here.
there needs to be some sort of opposing force that would make one of the characters give up information.
Okay.
Because they're so steadfast in being like, "We're not gonna give you anything. We're not a part of your issues. Like,
Yeah.
you can go." That it would be weird or awkward for one person to just be like, "Ah, F it. Like, here's information." So there would have to be a reason for that character.
Okay. Beyond just like, hey,
Yeah,
I'm scared.
beyond like,
They're gonna
"Hey,
kill
I'm
me.
scared," because to me that's just a really weak.
Okay. So what we could do is maybe we could set up the scene to where like we have the women and children watching from the sidelines, like they're not surrounded, they're
Yeah.
outside of it,
I mean,
and maybe one of them will blurt out.
You can even have a child say it because, like,
Yeah.
hey, kids don't really know this is a secret. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
And they would be more
The
likely
children
to be
that
afraid.
the children that
we
Aster rescued at the beginning.
There you go.
They could like,
Yay!
yeah, they could rush in and be like, yeah,
Because
we are writing a scene in real time.
Because I feel like definitely like a child would be more likely to just blurt out information rather
Yeah.
than an adult. Because even a wife, like, I feel like they would understand what their spouse wants. Like,
Yeah.
listen, death before dishonor.
Mhm.
So, and they would hold true to that. Whereas a child would be more likely to be like, "I'm scared," and blurt information.
Okay.
Because they don't really have that understanding yet.
Yeah. No, I like that.
And it includes those kids.
Yeah.
So I think that works really well.
Because those kids are the whole reason the Claire got involved.
Yeah.
And this is why writing scenes is fun. Because you could just play around until you get one that works and it all ties into the narrative. All right. What would you think is more devious of a move for Theo to do after he gets his information for the child to just order everyone executed anyways, or to like escort the child out and be like, here, you're safe, and then just slaughter the rest as the child's being escorted?
I think it would be probably a mix of both. So like have him kill everyone except the kid. So like he forces that kid to watch and be like, "You snitched,"
Okay.
but then like doesn't kill the child, but escorts the child away.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be
So
cool.
like he kills everyone in front of the kid.
Okay, so we got... All right, so this is currently how I have the scene. And again, it could be adjusted and tweaked. And but, soldier. Here they are, Theo. These are the scum who last saw the assailants of the Star Mages. Villager. Theo of the Dalton Empire. What is the meaning of this? Do you really expect Lady Eris to approve of such misbehavior? I do believe she would be more displeased in hearing of this village's allegiance to Goza. That's preposterous. Goza was purposely driven out from this very island years ago. You really think we'd sully our name with them? I've been informed that one of this village's residents was seen aiding a Gozan spy. You're jumping to conclusions. If you're that desperate, why not visit our Star Mages? Why do you feel the need to come directly to us and with such force? I had every intention to visit the Star Mages initially, but I regret to inform you that they have been slain by the Gozan traitors. What? No, this can't be. And now I ask for one simple request. A request that may even spare your lives. Who is this ally of our Gozan spy? Well, General, as you know, this village is on neutral land. We have nothing to do with your fight. Then I'm afraid there's nothing that can save you. Wait! Claire saved us. We went into the woods even though we weren't supposed to. It was our fault Claire got involved. I'm sorry. Is this true? Yes, Claire was with the guy who saved us from monsters. We'll never wander from the village again. Just please don't hurt them. I see. Well, then I suppose I have no further use for this. Do not fear, child. No harm will come to you. However, you did give up valuable information against these villagers' wishes. You have betrayed them. No, I didn't. Don't worry, child. I can fix your mistake. Come, let us leave this place. You gave me what I asked for, so the least I can do is return the favor. I will take this child back to my ship. You all know what must be done for the Dalton Empire. Soldiers, for the Dalton Empire.
Boom.
There we go.
Mass murder. When? That's something that I won't say in public.
We're recording.
Oh no.
On that note. All right, so there's the scene. She'll be the one that's going to run down. And then he's going to... And that's good enough for me. All right, a scene was made. Next stream, I'm going to export this as a demo for Amanda to playtest. She's going to give me some notes, and in the next stream, we're going to go through those notes and fine-tune to really get this demo out there. All right? We'll see you guys later.